Folks, here we are. Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. How the heck are you folks doing? Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. Here we go. Hey, you know what? Before I do all that, let's do this. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate the morning. There you go. Get you a nice cup of coffee. Join me, and let's celebrate another finished week, folks. So let's jump into a couple of things. First off, I did have a rough week this week as far as Fitness Focus Freedom Friday goes. Now, the fitness side, I went mountain biking, I went road biking, I did a 30-mile road bike on Saturday. Mountain biked a little bit on Tuesday, road rided on Tuesday on the mountain bike. I went on the pizza night run that the bike shop does. It's a really short ride, but I think I got 8 miles in on Tuesday night. Again, riding the new mountain bike on the road. It was fun. I cut through the park like a little kid. It was hilarious. Cut through the park, zooming, through a parking lot, jump a curb, over a parking curb, this, that, riding like a kid does. Like, when you see kids pop and jump over things. I was doing that, and I was having a really good time. And I got home from pizza night, downtown Hutchinson, out to where I live. I got home in like minutes, like literally like minutes. It wasn't like a long ride. It was like, boop, I'm home. And I was like, holy crap, because I cut through the park and the bike trail and all that stuff. And it was that joyful moment, like, again, like being a kid. It was like, I'm having so much fun. And it was just great. It was just great. So Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. I try to do this every Friday. And I think I missed last week. No, I did last week. I did last week really, really late, though. I remember that. I did last week really, really late. But every now and then, something grabs my attention, and I feel like, man, we got to jump online. We got to talk about this. And I always think it's funny because, here I am running this agency. Let me close that for you. There we go. That's a little better. So here I am running this agency, and not going to lie, I'm putting myself in as like an expert, right? Like I'm the expert in enterprise level e-learning. I'm the expert in, all right? And so boom, boom, boom. And I'm coming at you. Like I want your work. I want to do this. And we're having a good time. We've got a couple of really, really great projects right now. One of the projects is like bringing us in like we've kind of blown them out of the water with how well we've run things, just to be honest with you. I mean, if you've worked with other agencies and you've had people, drop the ball or leave you hanging, we don't do that. And so this customer had that happen, and now here we come, right? Like, hey, this will be done by this day. Boom, it's done. Hey, did you think about this? Let's incorporate that. Hey, we noticed this was wrong. We're going to fix that for you. And they're like, holy crap, it's gone from like they hired us to make a website to like we're running the show. Like we are project managing for them. And it's gotten to the point where they're like, hey, we want you on the advisory committee. We want you to be part of our organization. We want to rely on you from anything technical, right? So it went from we want you to build the website to you are our guy for anything technical. And when they go to bring other people onto the board, they like float their bios and resumes to me and go, what do you think of this person? Would this be an okay person to add to our group? Folks, that is what I'm talking about, right? That is serving above and beyond. That is like Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. That's it in a nutshell right there. It's like, okay, stay fit, stay energized, stay healthy. You can only perform as well as your body will let you. Stay fit, stay healthy. Bam. Fitness. Focus. Get the job done. Time, budget, time, budget, time, budget. Get the job done. I'm going to tell you what's been a struggle this week because I said it was a struggle. Last Wednesday, there was the threat of a tornado in my neighborhood. And so last Wednesday in my neighborhood, winds blowing, I took video. The video was freaking amazing. In fact, gosh, I'm going to pull that up in another window and see if that's something I can share with you. And I'll put that over on another, there we go, photos. Because I took some video of this. The lightning was amazing. Like I hadn't seen lightning like this in, yeah, here it is. I'm going to Let's put this over on fast. What is cancel screen share? Here we go. Uh, Video and share. All right. So and boom. There's put it here. 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 There we go.
I wonder if I can get further.
So
There we
if you
go.
look there and you see the lightning that's on screen, it was like a nightclub. It was like Saturday Night Fever.
If you look
Like
straight up, the
bam,
clouds
bam,
don't
bam,
really
bam,
seem to be
bam,
moving
bam.
much, and I heard that's like
It was
because we
crazy.
got the tornado warning, so maybe there
And
really is a tornado
it
coming.
was swirling around up above our house
I
like
heard it
that,
kinda,
and the
like,
lightning
stops and
was
then
crazy, and the wind
spools
started
up.
swirling. And I thought, oh my goodness, we're really going to see a tornado. Um, I did some things that are a little bit different than some people. I think let's stop sharing because I'm distracting the crud out of people. Yeah, I didn't see a light show that cool. The lightning was amazing. The wind was cool. The temperature dropped. That was awesome, right? Because it was a hot day. And so I went and grabbed a beer, and I was out in the driveway with the kids. Like I want to see this thing, right? We're like, is it coming? Is it not coming? I looked, and my neighbors weren't coming in. Oh, I've done something. Remove from scene. Remove from scene. There we go. And my neighbors weren't outside. I thought that was weird because I heard that in Kansas everyone goes outside to see it. And I called the next door neighbor. Said, "Where you at?" She goes, "I'm in the basement with the puppy." I said, "Oh." I called my other neighbors. "Where you at?" "I'm in the basement with my wife." I said, "Oh." And Heidi goes, "Where's everybody?" I said, "I called everybody. They're all in their basements." And she goes, "If they're in their basements." Shouldn't we be in our basement? And so Heidi went to the basement, and then she's calling me like, "How come you're not coming in?" And I'm like, "Because it's amazing outside. It's amazing." I want to enjoy and live moments. Like, let's face facts. If I saw a tornado touching down, I'd run in the house and run downstairs. But I wanted to see it. I wanted to like experience, like, see what that was. And the tornado apparently touched down a couple miles out of town, touched down on a golf course, and then got up and moved and did its thing. Okay, so that happened. What happened after that was my internet stopped working. So the internet here in the house was like, it worked and then it didn't work, it worked and then it didn't work. And I thought, that's weird. Couple of outages, must be, line damage from the tornado. And then it worked pretty good for about half a day, Thursday. And then it cut out. And I said, oh, that's a bummer. They must be fixing the lines. Late Thursday night, I was like, I should probably call because the internet's not back up yet. So I called and I said, hey, it might be related to the tornado, but the internet's out at our house. And they're like, no, it's not related to the tornado. You got a problem at your house. I was like, ah, you got to be kidding me. And so they go, someone will call you and make an appointment to come out and fix it for you tomorrow. You got a problem with your equipment. I said, okay, great. So Friday, I'm doing a show with Jonathan Denwood. We're wrapping up the show. And as the show is wrapping up, I see that someone's calling from the internet company. So that's great. They're going to make an appointment. They're going to come and fix my internet. I missed the call because I'm getting off the podcast. I call right back, like within like 42 seconds. And they go, oh, yeah, you missed the technician's call. We'll have to put you back in the queue. We'll try to get back to you within the next business day. Well, the next business day would be Monday, right? So Friday to Monday. So to me, that's 4 days. I'm sorry, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? Monday comes and goes. I don't hear from anybody. Heidi, my wife, is like, she's pissed, right? She's like, you should follow up. You should this, you should that. So she calls and she gets an appointment for Thursday, which was yesterday, to have the internet repaired, which is great. I hotspotted off the phone. I figured no big deal. I hotspot off the phone. I thought I had unlimited data. I thought that's what I was paying Google Fi for. Turns out Google Fi has a limit on hotspot data, which ran out Wednesday night. So as of Wednesday, I couldn't connect to the internet at all from home. And worse, because they were coming to fix the internet on Thursday, I couldn't like run out and like go to a coffee shop or a tap room or a hotel or somewhere with Wi-Fi because they're gonna come and I gotta be home when they do that. So I was basically under house arrest with no internet connection. And sometimes you would say, well, that's the most peaceful moment ever. That would be amazing. It was not amazing because I had work to do. And when you have that kind of work to do, and it wasn't stacking up. I should be clear. We're not behind on anything. None of the customers complained, like nothing like that. But me, Kurt, fitness focus, right? Fitness focus, Freedom Friday, fitness focus. It's like I want to focus on getting this work done. I want to stay ahead of schedule. The schedule I was telling you about where the customer's so happy, we're like a month ahead of schedule on their project. So if I miss a day or I miss 2 days, if I miss 3 days because the internet's spotty, it's not the end of the world. But to me, I'm not able to focus and be productive. And that to me is a frustration because when I'm that far ahead on client work, what am I going to do? I'm going to hit the funnel again, right? Like, where's the next customer? Where's the next project? Where's the next piece of revenue? People wonder, like, hey, how do you run a six-figure agency, right? That's how you run a six-figure agency. Fitness, focus. And I was not able to focus too well this week. So, um, it was a pain. The internet's back and they upgraded the internet, which is great, right? It's performing flawlessly again. I had 3 years of flawless service with Idea Tech. So I want to be angry that the internet was down. I want to be upset, but I can't. Like 3 years of flawless internet, and then we had an equipment issue. It was down. I mean, it was down a week. But some of that's my own dang fault because I didn't answer the phone when they called, right? I gotta take ownership of that. I've got to take ownership of that. And so fitness focus, freedom, Friday. So freedom. Now we want to talk about freedom. Freedom to me is that fact that I can do what I want. I'm self-employed. I can do what I want. If I wanted to go mountain biking right now, I'd go mountain biking, right? But no, I actually plan to use my freedom to do some work. So I've already made the decision. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to do work today. Like I'm going to work. I've got client work to do and I've got project work to do. Speaking of projects, have you guys seen this? Yep, that's right. We are putting out Pedal Academy. More and more and more, I am really enjoying what we are doing with the Pedal Academy. We're trying to inspire kids to get on bikes. We want families to get kids on bikes, and it's a passion point for me. So we are doing work on that this week as well. So Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. The freedom is I actually do get to work. So today, instead of saying I'm going to go to the lake or I'm going to whatever, it's like, no, I'm actually going to use the freedom that I have based on that internet outage earlier in the week. I'm going to use the freedom I have to get ahead of things, to stay ahead of things, to make things happen. And quite honestly, probably put a newsletter together and get that back out to our audience because we didn't do a newsletter last week. And so I just want to Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. I want to make sure that these things continue to happen. Now I want to talk about the title that I put, like full circle grifting, right? Full circle grifting. I wonder if it's even still up. Let me see if it's still up on. Yeah, it disappeared because I cycled the page. I was in Facebook looking at stuff, and oh my goodness, this guy. It's a paid ad. It's a paid ad, right? And it pops up in my feed, and it's. You don't need to have an online course. You don't need to have your own website. You don't need to, and it was called the anti-marketing message. Anti-marketing, right? So it was like how to not market, and then showed you how to market. Folks, I am so tired of liars and grifters and the nonsense that is online telling people how to go make a fortune. Here's how you go make a fortune. You start with a small one, make a big one. I struggle so hard with this, right? Because if you remember 8-9 months ago, it was, you don't need a website. You don't need an online course. You need a mobile application. If you don't have a mobile application, how does everybody shop? They shop with their phones. Everybody wants an app. You need an app. And once you have an app, set it and forget it, baby. You're going to make $50,000 a month. I was like, where, how, what? Why is someone going to download your app? Where's the value proposition at? What's your, and they're telling people, use us to get an app and you're going to make a gazillion dollars. That's not how that works. That's not, pardon me. That's not how that works. That is not how that works. For a while it was funnels, right? You don't need to do paid ads. You just need an email funnel. Well, how are people getting to the funnel? right? Well, the ads would bring them. Well, okay, so now we're back to ads. So this one is saying, um, you don't need courses, you don't need a website, you don't need this, you don't need that. Okay, here's what you're going to do. Right, you want to be in the coaching. You want to be in the coaching arena, right? So you want to be in coaching. We're going to do anti-marketing, and part of their anti-marketing message is do less, make more. Like that's what it said right in the ad. Do less, make more. Ooh, that's a great idea. Do less, make more. And the guy is, like riding dirt bikes, motorcycles, swimming in a lake, going to the waterfall, hiking with his dog. Do less, make more. Enjoy your freedom. But become wealthy, right? Okay, folks, where in the world would that possibly make any sense? Be nothing, be nobody, have nothing to show for it, and go hiking, ride motorcycles, mountain biking, fishing, and have unlimited income. Like how, I'm sorry, folks, if you watch a commercial like that, if you watch an ad like that, and you're getting pulled in and you're thinking, wow, that actually makes sense. That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to try that. Stop. Stop what you're doing. End the madness. I love this. Hey, from North Carolina. I'm going to guess that that's Adam watching me on LinkedIn. I'm going to guess that that's Adam. Adam has a new project. So let's cover this, right? I just told you I'm going to do the Pedal Academy. Adam is doing Need a Pacer, right? A pacer is someone that you work with when you're running. He's a competitive runner, okay? So he has a project called Run Adam Run, and then I think it's needapacer.com. And, like me, he's got a bunch of other projects too, right? So I've got the Power Sport Academy. I've got the Pedal Academy. I actually own a thing called like Marine Dealer Training. Like I'm actually thinking about building that out too. And that to me is doing the grind, man, working. Like take your talents and put it to work. How am I going to do this? So anyway, this ad was an anti-marketing ad, said anti-marketing. And then it said, here's all you need to do. All you need to do is write you a book, write a 100-page book. I just want to be real clear. Here's my 100-page book. I wrote this in 2007. There's a picture of me on the back, okay? This book changed my life. This book changed my life. This book ended up getting bought and read by people that ran Ducati, the motorcycle company. They hired me to write training programs for their corporation. I ended up working corporately for them over half a decade, and as a contractor for over half a decade. So about 10 or 11 years I put in with Ducati. And then the experience at Ducati led to experience with Suzuki, with BRP, with Triumph, with Indian, and some of them are through contracts. It's not always working directly for, right? But have me working with contracts that provide content to, Victory before Victory went out. So Victory, Polaris, again, I go to BRP. I really enjoyed the time with BRP until things got a little crazy. But that was a fun project. The other book, I wrote this, is Action Leadership from the Edge, right? So you're wondering why I'm getting speaking gigs on leadership. This is why I'm getting speaking gigs on leadership. I got a book on leadership. But here's what this moron was saying on Facebook this morning. He was saying the anti-marketing message. Write you a book. And then just buy some Facebook ads and let the ads sell the book. And then people will just throw money at you. Okay. I'm going to be super, super honest. I bought Facebook ads to try and sell this book. Now, I got lucky. Someone at Ducati bought it. Some automotive service managers bought it. It's an automotive trade book, right? So that's the audience. But I put out a couple of ads, and the ads did nothing. Action Leadership from the Edge. You can actually go to actionleadershipteam.com, sign up for a free course. It's a sister course that goes with the book. You can buy the book on Amazon. I've sold more of the service writing books than I've sold of the leadership books. And I've kind of determined that maybe people are just tired of hearing about leadership. Maybe people are tired of hearing about communication. 9, 10 months ago, I guess people wanted to hear about mobile apps. And I guess now people might want to hear about how to write a short book. And I bet you what's going to come next. Here's what's going to come next. That same moron is going to come out and say, sign up for my free mini course on how to use artificial intelligence to write your 100-page book. I can almost guarantee that that's going to be the next step. These grifters are incredibly predictable. You can see what somebody starts to say and you go, well, that ain't right. That ain't true. That doesn't align with common sense. So what can we expect to see next? And then I'll wait. I'll see it. I didn't like it or share it, right? But I'm pretty sure it's going to come back because I'm talking about it now. So because AI, because I'm talking about it now, I'm sure it'll pop back up in my feed, right? I don't need a website. I don't need a course. All I need to do is write a 100-page book. I've already got a 100-page book, right? Use some ads to sell the book, and then people just start throwing money at me. That's not how the life works. The life works in you do the hard work first. You need something to write the book about. That's one of the things that really gets me, right? Is what's the book about? What's the topic? What's the subject? That was the problem with the people pitching the mobile apps, right? They were pitching mobile apps, and I was like, what's the topic? What's the niche? What are you going to make not everybody has a thing. What are you going to drive value in a niche that's going to attract an audience for you? I happen to be one of the best service writers ever. I mean, I did it. I was very successful at it. And so I wrote a book on that. That's my niche. I'm very experienced. I'm very knowledgeable. The book is very accurate. It's a very good book. It stands the test of time. I put the book out in 2007. That was 19 years ago, right? The book is still relevant today. People still buy the book. I came out with version 2. What does that mean? It means I had to re-edit and republish the dang book. There is no set it and forget it. This commercial that said, do less and make more, blew my mind. Blew my mind. Because marketing is not, okay, anti-marketing. I can't believe I'm using these terms now. It's like I'm copying them. Marketing, anti-marketing, however you want to phrase this thing. This whole idea of do less, make more, is crazy. Is crazy. You have to do the work. Somebody from Athens, Greece is here. Welcome. Absolutely welcome. It's good to see you. Love having you. Here's my thing. There is no magic button. There is no magic button. I've been saying this online for years. There is no magic button. During the pandemic, I went live almost every day, and I said, we've got to find the opportunities within the obstacles. You've got something. Everybody has something. You've got some knowledge advantage. You've got some experience. You've got something that is a value add for somebody else. You need to do the hard work and figure out, what is it? What is it? You've got it. What is it? Right? So for me, over time, I've come to find out, for me, I thought it was automotive. It's not automotive. I thought it was racing motorcycles. It's not racing motorcycles. So here's the weird part, okay? I was a really good trainer in the automotive space. I was a really good trainer in the power sports space. I mean, that's what I did for Ducati and Suzuki and BRP. I'm a really good trainer in the power sports space. I train people how to race motorcycles. And so I was like, oh, it's Irene. Irene follows me and I follow her on LinkedIn. Yeah, she has great content. If you see Irene, I'm going to mess up your last name. If you see Irene Kukia, give her a follow. Give her a follow. She puts out some good stuff, and she's not afraid to follow back and share your stuff and comment and everything. She's a really good connection on LinkedIn. It's good to see you, Irene. I'm glad you're with us today. So This nonsense with like, put out a book and magically have 1,000 customers, or get a mobile app and instantly have 1,000 customers. Make a mini course, right? Put your course on Kajabi, put your course on School. This whole thing with School, I did a whole show yesterday about School with Jonathan on the Membership Machine show. Did a whole thing on School and how that's just become like a marketplace of grifters. Like, I didn't hate the software. I have a course on School. I didn't hate using it. Is it as good as Lifter LMS? Is it as good as a website I can build in WordPress? Absolutely not. It's not. Not only that, but if you go into their platform, you're now competing with other creators in the same space that you're in. So in some ways, it feels like a really backwards way to do things. And so, so I want to go back to the core of the message, and that is find your thing. What is your thing? What is your thing that drives value to other people? Again, I thought it was automotive. I thought it was racing motorcycles. I thought it was teaching in power sports. It turns out I was over niching. That's a weird phrase. That's a weird phrase, but I was niching down too much. I was like, I'm going to focus on power sports. And I have the Power Sports Academy to prove it, right? I'm doing the Pedal Academy, right? I'm going to focus on the mountain biking. So that's where I was going to say that, right? And oh, so awesome. I love having you people in here today. Hi, Adam. Indeed, I hope your friend is having a brilliant time. Fantastic. And then this is referencing the Agency Action Show. I'm a fan of yours, watching you and Toby every week. Good to see you too. Yeah, I do a thing with Toby Crines. We record almost every week. Almost every Friday, we record a show for the WP Minute. WP Minute edits it and puts it out like days later. And so I never really know when the show's coming out, but it's been a great experience. I didn't know who Toby was before we started the show. We just started and we just gel. It works really well together. And this is a great segue into what we are discussing. I was over niched. I thought I had to focus on power sports, or I had to focus on mountain biking, or I had to focus on whatever. Turns out, okay, based on the 5 podcasts a week I'm on and the lives that I do and the training that I do and the public speaking I do for the Chamber of Commerce here in town, and now for the apprentice program that I'm putting together for people that want to have their own WordPress agencies, I just love to teach. I love to teach in a way that is not school. Not School the website, but school like going to school. I love to teach like, here are the bullet points to figure out what you want to do, get started, execute, and find success. Like, I love to teach boom, 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 that way. And I've grown curriculum successfully in these areas. So power sports, motorcycle road racing. I ran my own motorcycle road racing school. Like, I literally thought, oh, it's a niche. I'm going to niche down. I'm going to have my own motorcycle road racing school. Okay, how many customers did I get there? I had like 40, right? So over the course of years and investing tens of thousands of dollars into this thing, not to mention the wear and tear on my body and the equipment, right? I had oh my God, it was called Free Track Day. It was a great school. It was Free Track Day. We did track time. I taught people how to drag their knee and ride wheelies and slide around corners. And we had a blast. We had a blast. But I thought, everyone said the riches are in the niches. You got to find your niche. And I drove down into those niches. And I drove down, boom. Power Sport Academy, another perfect example of my failure. I have the best power sports training program for fixed operations. Fixed operations is parts and service, not sales. Parts and service, not sales. I over-niched, right? What do the dealers want training on? The dealers want training on sales. All the people that own these stores really seem to care about is sales. And what am I training? Service, right? So I'm 6 years in on this project. Again, thousands of hours, thousands of dollars, over niched. Okay. So when I see grifters like this on the internet saying, just write yourself a 100-page book, take out a couple of Facebook ads, Bob's your uncle, you're going to be a millionaire. Like, oh, stop. Stop with the nonsense. You've got to do the work. So find what you're good at. Find what's a value add that you can offer to others. And then I'm going to go back too. It's the magic isn't the course. The magic isn't the app. The magic isn't publishing the book. The magic, here's the magic. The magic is just do the work. You got to do it all. So I've got a mini course that leads to a full course. I've got a free course that leads to a paid course. I do all this live content. I'm on 5 different podcasts a week. I have other people that I associate with that like Adam, perfect example. I'm over here pitching his, run thing, right? I'm over here saying, go to Run Adam Run. I'm saying, findapacer.com. I'm doing that. What am I hoping Adam's going to do? Adam's going to go, you need help, you got to find Kurt at Manana No Mas. You want something on leadership, you should read Kurt's book, the Action Leadership from the Edge. Hey, you're into bicycles? Kurt's got this pedal academy thing he's launching to help kids get on bikes. Like, people need to work together, but it takes work, right? You got to network. Irene, I've never met Irene, but she's saying hi during my live from Greece. Like, folks, you got to do the work. You got to put yourself out there. Stay away from these things. When you see that dude with the beard and the long hair talking about how wonderful school is and it's got a marketplace and all you got to do is grow your community there and put in a course and it's on autopilot, there's no such thing as autopilot. You got to do the work. You got to put in the reps. You got to focus. Fitness, focus, freedom, Friday. Whew. I know I go long on these, and I hope that people have the patience for it. But I'm passionate about it, super passionate. I love the online course direction, and I'm going to be honest, I kind of struggled with why for a while. So I'm friends with other people that run agencies, and so every now and then you'll run into an agency that's pretty successful, right? Because I talk to other people in the space. I'm on post status and stuff like that. So I'll talk to other people in the space, and they'll say, "Oh my gosh, you do e-commerce? We don't do any e-commerce." And I'm thinking to myself, how in the world do you run an agency and not do e-commerce? How do people make money? Like, you're charging someone $30,000 for a website. How does that website make them money? Like, I am so focused on courses, return on investment, revenue. Like, I'm so focused in those areas. I have a hard time talking about just a plain marketing website, especially if it's $20,000 or $30,000 or whatever, right? It's 4 or 5 pages of fluff and the site doesn't do anything. And there are agencies out there that knock it out of the park with that stuff. There are. But it's a short circuit for me because I'm so committed. I'm so in on the courses, right? Why? Well, I just told you. I was distracted by the Power Sport Academy, the Pedal Academy, the Free Track Day, all these things where I teach other people different things. And I got kind of hooked, addicted, the endorphins or whatever you want to call it, of helping people, like seeing the eyes come on, like boom. And they go, oh, I get it, right? Like that to me is like the magic. So naturally in my agency, we focus on enterprise learning projects. So we do enterprise learning projects. We like to build e-learning sites for large companies, and we like to take all their stuff over. And to me, it's amazing. Did I say I'm going to write a 100-page book on e-learning? No, I didn't. And now I'm sitting here making this video going, well, that's ridiculous. I should make a 100-page book on e-learning and the advantages of moving enterprise systems over. Like, folks, find your magic. Find whatever it is. It's ironic, thinking we should have a podcast, mixing our passions. Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. We got more comments coming in. I'm all over the place. We should have mountain biking, ultra running, teaching. Yes, absolutely. Me and Adam are so familiar in certain areas. And his drive in the running space is kind of like my drive in the bicycling space. In fact, I'm going to say he's a little crazier than me because he's still doing long runs. I'm not doing too many more long bicycling rides. Single track and side hustles. Oh man, he's full of it. He's full of it this morning. Okay, well, we got his juices working today. We've got something working. But here's what I've been talking about. Everyone has some magic. It's like the book I wrote, Action Leadership from the Edge. Everybody is called to a certain position of influence. Leadership, right? Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. John C. Maxwell. So Everybody, I believe, is called to a certain position of leadership or influence. No matter how big or small, you are called to positively influence somebody somehow. And I believe that with every fiber in my being. I believe that everybody is called to some form of leadership, some form of influence. And then what happens is people abstain from that, and since nature, since God hates to have gaps in leadership, it's allowed to fill with things that are unnaturally called to those positions. And that's how we get poor leadership, bad decisions. That's how things happen. That's how things go south. So when I think about what I do, and we really start to drive back, right? I have all these web projects, e-learning, community, membership sites, which are really based in influence and leadership, right? When we drive all that down, and you really look at the timeline of Kurt Von Onen through all of the different projects, you start to pick out like, holy crap, there is a common element. I've been telling people my whole life. Like people say, oh man, you're all over the place. No, I'm focused. It all makes sense to me. It's all one clear vision. And here is the clearest of visions I can give you today. When I look at the Power Sport Academy, the Pedal Academy, the Sunflower Launch, the WP Agency Academy, when I look at all these projects, they are all super niched. I don't think any of them are big enough. I think they're over niched, right? So I think they're over niched. They all have their own specialty, okay? And they all have an opportunity for success in the ways that I want them to succeed. They all have opportunities for success in the ways that I want them to succeed. Just like Adam has opportunities for success in his running niche, right? But our experiences as educators, as project managers, as technologists, it encompasses so much more than that niche. I'm 58 years old. I've experienced all these different things. And so I've come to realize my niche is not power sports, mountain biking, agency, running an agency. My niche is teaching. In general, adult-centered learning teaching. Adult-centered teaching. Online. Using technology. I love to do it in person. I love to teach in person. I love to be a public speaker. I love to do coaching and training. I used to teach at Los Angeles County. I used to teach people how to run the election, right? Like, that was cool. I'd have 100 people in class at a time. It was so much fun. It was great. But there's a side of me that says, as cool as the classroom is, I can positively affect more people with the technology that I've become an expert in. Right? So one of our projects right now is working with colleges on a curriculum that's going out to colleges. I'm going to be able to positively affect thousands of people with that curriculum, literally thousands of people. All right. And so I have to ask myself, if I were to consider the niche, would that be, a post-secondary education expert? Like, no, I think that's over niched. That's over niched. The secret for you is to figure out what is your niche without being too general or over niching. So for me to start out, Power Sport Academy was probably a good thing to do. Free Track Day was probably a good thing to do. It gave me experience in that small space. But now that I have that experience in that small space, I'm able to serve others in a much larger space, right? Hopefully all this makes sense. This whole talk came out because I saw that stupid ad on Facebook. Some moron telling the masses that all they need to do for financial security and success is to write a 100-page book on anything and then sell that 100-page book through some Facebook ads and then go ride their motorcycles and go to the lake. Do less, make more. That's ridiculous. And all these other grifter things are ridiculous. You have to do the work. So you've got to build an audience. You've got to figure out your magic, right? So you've got to figure out what your magic is. You've got to develop product and services around the magic. And then you've got to promote, right? Which is the marketing, not anti-marketing. It's the marketing. You've got to do the marketing, right? So maybe it is a mini course. Maybe it's a full course. Maybe it's no course at all. Maybe there are some Facebook ads. Maybe you're going to do a live talk somewhere. Maybe you're going to have a product made and distributed, right? But then you've got to figure out your distribution channels. But you got to do the work. And this whole idea of do less, make more, passive income, I already told you, I wrote that book in 2007. And then I came out with version 2.0. I had to redo the whole thing. That's not passive. That's doing it over, right? So important. So important. Mañana no Mas, the website. In 10 years, we've done that website 6 or 7 times. It's not passive. I didn't build it and forget it. I built it, and then I realized the messaging was off. And I looked at it a year later, and the messaging was off. And I looked at it a year later, and I said, you know what, I should probably tweak that again. There is no such thing as passive. There's no such thing as set it and forget it. There's no such thing as work less, make more. Just saying. I don't think Elon Musk is working less. Right? Everyone says, "Oh, it's not right. He's a trillionaire, and that's not fair." And we could have all kinds of conversations about that. But look at the things he's done that have worked, and look at the things he's done that haven't worked. But look at how he's jumped from one to the other and kept the successful things afloat. Right? And look at how he is very focused, very. He does not suffer fools. He does not suffer distractions. He is fitness, focus, and he's enjoying the freedom on Friday, right? Folks, I'm going to let you go. I went way too long today. I apologize. I hope you enjoy your weekend. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to do a lot more work. Like I said, my internet's back, so I've got a lot of work to do today and tomorrow. But I do have 20 pounds of beef on my smoker right now, so I'm going to have a wonderful meal later. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. What do you think I should close you guys out with? Should I close you out with coffee, mountain bike, or let's do this one.